Alrighty guys, welcome to today's episode. If this is your first time watching this channel, my name is Nesto. This is my YouTube channel, Nerdmoto. And today we are going to be taking another look at the Yamaha, the Honda Magna and the Yamaha EH450 build over at Fool's Error's house. So let's hop on the bike, escape the neighborhood, and we'll see you guys once we get in on the road. Alrighty guys, so we are officially out of the neighborhood. We escaped it once again. If this is your guys' first time on the channel, my name's Nesto. This is my YouTube channel, Nerdmoto. Like I said before, if you are not subscribed and you enjoy watching motorcycle content, just hit subscribe, man. It's free. It doesn't cost you guys a dime. All it does is help out the channel and make it so that I can make more of this awesome motorcycle content. So in today's video, now that we've got our little, our little self-promotion out of the way, in today's video, we are going to be going over to Fool's Error's house. Fool's Error is another YouTuber that repairs motorcycles and cars and plays video games on his YouTube channel. If you guys haven't checked him out, make sure to check him out. I'll put his tag right there. But aside from doing all those amazing things, he is also my cousin-in-law. He's my wife's cousin, so he's my cousin-in-law. And he was able to get his hands on an 84 Honda Magna for relatively cheap. So we're still a little bit on the fence with what he wants to do with that. He may want to sell it. He may want to ride it. Who knows? So we're going to see how it goes, building it up, and go from there. I haven't had an energy drink in like 2 or 3 months now. But the way that I would fold like a lawn chair if somebody bought me one is insane, man. Alrighty guys, so we are out on the highway. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about, things that Justin's done to the bike that I know of so far.
Alright, so we're looking from onward, and come to find out, there's 2 on the back, 1 up front, and the 1 up here that's already been cut off pretty much. So we only have 3 to worry about, but the 2 in the back are bars that go all the way across. And well, I just need to loosen them up and it'll go swimmingly. Hopefully.
Let's not have the bike fall over. That's in there good. Can I block the shot? Woo! It's in there really good and really tight.
Oh, that's a chunk of skin. Here's the bolts. I think they just need to come on out this way and pop off right here, because there's an inside radiator hose right here that goes through this tube on down yonder, and I'm sure it does something right here. I don't remember where. But I know this comes off too. And I think that's my plan right there. And then I'll do something with back here. I know I have to pull out the drive shaft, but don't know exactly how, so I may have to do a little research for it. But that's the plan, and my little update for the Honda. It's actually looking really good, other than, well, the frame's gone from over there. Alright guys, everything's came out. Big old boys right here. This one's from the lower. It's a lot more rusty. And it gets thinner. Oh, I didn't notice that. Where the rust parts stop, or start actually, it gets thinner. But you can see, I don't know why it has threading. So hopefully I didn't mess up anything. But we'll find out. But the upper one, straight bolt, pretty much, just long. And I'll show you guys the next one. It's on the other side of the bike, where the flat part was, or the flat iron was, and it's not terribly in a bad position, but it is a tough position because it's a short guy on the inside of the rail and one on outside of it, but it's sucked in a tiny bit. So I'll see if I can get a good shot, and hopefully you guys can watch. We'll see what makes it in. So the bolt came out. I thought it was getting crushed and it was getting stuck like this. Turns out I just needed to rotate it and unscrew it, and it came out perfectly fine. So I think that's that's holding the engine in place right now. But that should be it. If not, I need to remove a section of the frame, but it's bolted on, so it should be fine. Other than that, I think that is most of it. Yeah, we'll keep going and see what happens. I'm going to start doing the frame right now. The left side comes off, and I'll show you guys that in a second. But that's mostly my theory, that I need to take off the left side of the frame, and then the motor will just be sitting on the exhaust, and I need to disconnect the rear end from it, and that'd be everything that needs to come off, I'm pretty sure.
Alright, let's preload. Here it is. Alrighty guys, so we are getting close to Justin's house, so I will see you when we get there. Bye. Alrighty guys, what is up? We are back at Justin's garage. If you don't remember, Justin is Fool's Error on YouTube. He has his own channel. We are working on the 1984, right?
Yes.
84 Honda Magna. So if you guys remember the last video, we were talking about, some things that are going to need to be done. One of them being this fender needed to, or not fender, but this frame piece needed to come off. If you guys can see what I'm talking about now, you'll get a bit of a closer look. Yeah, I don't know, maybe the bike was involved at a crash at some point, but it really just looks like it kind of got roached out, and the people chopped the fender to kind of help with that rust and stuff like that. Well, we re-chopped, or I say we, I mean Justin. Justin re-chopped said fender. We're going to get a piece of 1 inch pipe, put it up there, weld it, chop that piece, put 1 1/4, because that's what this diameter is, 1 1/4. We'll put 1 1/4 around that and re-weld that to kind of strengthen up the structure of the frame on this bike. But we are not going to do that until we pull the engine, crack that bed Larry open, and see what we're looking at on the inside right now. We did just check the dipstick. I'll pull it out again to show you guys how the oil is looking just on the dipstick, because it honestly kind of surprised me. I'm sure Justin was surprised by it too, but it did not look as bad as I kind of thought it was going to look. And maybe that's just me being biased because the bike has been sitting for a while. But as you guys can see, like, that is not too terribly dirty. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but there's no real sparks of, like, you know, metal or anything like that. So that's good. That's promising. That's not a guarantee that everything's fine with the internals of the bike. For all we know, the previous owner could have just swapped out the oil after it's fed. So
Yeah.
but for right now, we are going to keep cracking on what we've been cracking on. We're gonna get some time-lapse footage of us working on the bike. The next portion to come off, I believe, is going to be this part of the frame. We did almost do an oopsie and reverse thread those screws, but we got it figured out. We got it figured out. So we're gonna keep cracking on it. We'll get some time lapse. I'll get some close-ups of some other parts that we do, so that way I can show you guys. But we're gonna go ahead and start cracking on this. All right. Alrighty guys, if you are ever working on a 1980s Honda Magna, remember, you can't remove the frame without removing the freaking foot peg assembly. Alright, we're gonna... What's that?
We could chop it off.
Oh, that's true. That is true. We could always chop it. Chopping is always an option, guys. Never forget. Alrighty guys, so, you know, make sure that you know whether or not there's coolant in the bike before you start cutting into shit, or removing it, I should say.
I mean, it's not too bad.
I mean, we're not planning on keeping that radiator, I don't think. Well, actually, we might need to, but either way, all we would have to do is replace the hose. That's not too bad, but yeah, we're making progress.
It's gonna be sticky. Sometimes you just gotta be a...
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes it pays to be a... Alright guys, so we did finally get that frame piece off. If you guys are unfamiliar with the Magna, it utilizes part of its frame to store its coolant. That's why that coolant piece right there, that coolant line that we cut through, that's why there was so much coolant in there. It's because the frame is essentially semi-hollow and helps hold that coolant. So now the next part that we're going to do, because we are pulling the engine, is we are going to take this drive shaft off. Mind you, this is my first time ever removing any type of drive shaft from any sort of vehicle, so I'm really relying on Justin here, who has informed me that my confidence may be misplaced, but we'll see how it goes.
I did watch a YouTube video on this.
Hey, YouTube University is where it's at, man. All right, guys, we're going to keep going. We are getting time-lapse footage of everything we're doing, so you guys aren't going to miss out on anything. I'll try my best to get, you know, specifics on certain portions where I think it might be a little more technical to do things. But right now, all we're doing is a really caveman shit where we're putting stuff on bolts and taking those bolts off, so... Alrighty, guys, so when you get to this part of your Magna build, remember... Contrary to what you may think, because, you know, it is a Japanese bike, so you would think that they would use metric parts, these are actually standard. They're imperial parts, so...
Until someone calls you out.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Says, no,
if they're...
wrecked it.
Yeah, if they're not supposed to be like this, please let me know in the comments, because this is irritating. Alright, now that we've beaten the axle in through that side, and start pulling it out over here. Got to make sure not to lose this washer or this spacer right here. Alrighty guys, so we are going to call it we're going to put this on pause for today. We have made some pretty good progress. We did get the exhaust off. we're almost to the point where we could literally lift the engine away from the frame, but there's a couple more things with the radiator up here and the forks where it's just binding up just enough for it to be inconvenient enough to have to take all those pieces apart. So we're gonna pause it right here for now, just because it is insanely hot. We are both sweating through ourselves, yeah, profusely. So we're gonna pause it right here, and then we are gonna keep going. But that'll be where we pause it for episode 2. Make sure you guys stay tuned in for episode 3. If you guys aren't subscribed yet, make sure you hit the bell and subscribe button so you get notified of any new uploads. If you don't already follow him, make sure you follow Justin's channel at Fool's Error on YouTube. Again, I'll put the tag right up here. I promise that's the last time I'm going to mention it. I know I've mentioned it a couple times right now. And then, you know, make sure you guys subscribe so that way you can see the next build videos in the series. So we're going to start getting everything together and start making our way home, and I'll catch you guys when we get on the road.
Show off the bike.
Yeah. Yeah.
Show off the work.
Everything that's come off of it so far. As you can see, from the beginning of the video, we removed the handlebars, some of the upper clamps, removed the rest of the exhaust along with the collector, the rear axle, the rear tire, the drive shaft. Like, all of these pieces are just sitting all over the place. We're gonna clean it up, but yeah, we've gotten a lot done with the bike. It's coming along really nicely. I don't know what you think. I think like probably 4 or 5 more sessions like this. Obviously we're going to be waiting a while because of powder coating and stuff like that, but 4 or 5 little breakdown sections and then eventually build sections like this, and we should have it squared away. And then we could start working on the chopper. That's going to be very labor intensive, but at least we won't have to break it down. It's the frame as it is. So
well, we gotta find an engine that will fit and what you want on it.
Yeah. So probably honestly keep it stock with the EH450 engine, because those engines aren't too bad, and from what I was looking at, they're not very expensive. I think they're like $600 a pop for one in good shape. And then obviously we would go exhaust and stuff like that. But once we get those pieces, that's when we'll start thinking, okay, this needs to be chopper style. We're going to do fishtail exhaust, king and queen seat, decide if we need to chop the fender in any place, decide if we need to buy a chopper kit for the fender or for the frame in any place, because I don't remember if the frame of it already has like a chopped rear end.
Yeah.
Yeah, does it?
I think so.
Yeah, so we may need to see if like TC Bros or one of those other dealers has a chopper kit for that specific frame, because they sell them. So it might just be a frame that we could get mailed in, weld it up to the frame as it is, and then build the chopper on top of that.
Gotcha.
All right, guys, we're going to get everything together and start making our way home. Say bye.
See you, boys.
Bye. Alrighty guys, so we are going to start making our way home. I did swap out the Insta lens, the 4K lens, for the 360 lens, just because I haven't really tried it out, and I want to see, you know, not only what there is to editing this 360 footage, but how it turns out, and if I really like the quality and the settings and stuff like that. So we're going to try that out. Let me bring up my kickstand here, put her into first gear, and let's start making our way home. Going a little too hard in the paint right here. Let's go to this stop sign. And I'm supposed to be turning right here. So let's come to a full stop. And then let's go. Yeah guys, so like I said, I am going to be doing like a full review video of my Insta360. I need to get a little more comfortable with it. You know, I've had my GoPro for a little while now. I'm a little more comfortable with it. There are definitely like some first impression pros and cons to the Insta360. I would say my biggest one is one that you've probably heard before in multiple other videos, but it is just super inconvenient to essentially, you know, have to download the footage to my phone and then take it from my phone and put it on my computer. Like, it would just be so much easier if they made the SD cards, or I don't know what it is about it, what specific component it is that needs to be changed, but it would be a lot more convenient if they just made it so that way you didn't have to reformat the SD cards and then reformat them when they get into the Insta360. It would be a lot easier if they just made it so that way you could just pop that SD card from the Insta360 into an SD card reader and pull the video files from there. I want to say I understand why they don't do it, like maybe for the 360 footage, but I honestly don't know enough about the 360 footage to know whether or not that's an accurate statement. Like, if it's the 360 footage that makes it that you can't do it like that, or if it's like a software issue. So we will have to see and, you know, see how it works out. The Magna project is definitely coming along. The only thing, there were only a few things that Justin really did while I was at home, and that was, you know, obviously chopping that part of the fender that had to be chopped, and then also, you know, removing those bolts that are holding the frame mounts for the actual engine piece. So now we just need to figure out a way to get that radiator off there and pull the rest of the engine out. I do think, I may be mistaken, so don't quote me on it, but Justin said that he was going to work on that as well. He's just going to send me the footage, so we will see how that goes. I wish I would have been recording earlier, because as I was like making my way through Justin's neighborhood, I definitely scraped peg on that little jackknife turn. Yeah, I definitely scraped peg on that little jackknife turn. And it wasn't the funnest thing ever. Like, normally I'm like, woo, I'm scraping peg. But this time I was like, oh Lord, I'm scraping peg. Ooh. Hello, officer. Yeah, guys, but that bike is definitely coming along. Me and Justin off camera, you know, we were talking about future plans for the bike in terms of powder coating it, putting what kind of tank we want to put on it, what we want to do with the carbs, stuff like that. So there's definitely a lot of plans in the work for that bike. We don't plan on just restoring it to the point where we're like, oh, well, it functions now we're going to sell it. That's definitely not what the plan is. The plan is, as far as I know, is to definitely, you know, trick it out, clap it out, and make it something somebody could be proud of riding, something that people can pull up to on bike night, and it's just going to immediately draw everybody's attention. Now, a Magna already draws a lot of attention as it is, but a clapped out Magna with a custom paint job and this, that, and that done to it, like, that's going to turn some heads. Good gosh, it's a little toasty. It's a little toasty. My goodness. I'm glad I did the smart thing and wore a black shirt. And black boots. I'm not regretting this at all. You guys that watch my channel know that I never, ever ride without a helmet. A full face helmet, right? I'm ugly enough as it is. I don't need to ask the pavement to assist me in that endeavor. But let me tell you, it is so toasty out here today that Indiana's no helmet law is looking very appealing, very appetizing. To the house, if you have made it this far, we are almost to the house. If you've made it this far in the video and you are not already subscribed, please consider liking and subscribing. I don't know if you guys know this, but YouTube does show me how many of you guys watch my videos and how many of you guys are not subscribed that watch my videos. And a huge portion of you guys that do watch my videos, you know, every single time that I post them, you're not subscribed. There's about 90% of my audience, a little over 90% of my audience is not subscribed. So if you guys could subscribe, that would really help out the channel. And it's completely free. It doesn't cost you guys a thing. All that happens is you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Alright guys, I'm gonna keep making my way the rest of the way home. You guys enjoy your rides and ride safe out there. Have a good one. Bye.
Me wind and rain, you're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here.